Having said that, let's talk about why behind profiling. So what is happening here? We have our enterprise network, we have identity services engine, and we have this access switch. Access switch, the name is access switch because people connect on it to get the network access, you all know, and we also call it network access device, NAD. We also call it in terms of .1x authentication as authenticator. Pretty important device, right? Now, you all know that PC can come and connect. Maybe this is a Windows PC, Mac PC, or something else. You all know that it might be the case that printer can come and connect. Maybe IP phone can come and connect. iPad can come and connect here. And of course, access points also can connect here. But suppose if you do not have this ISE system, right? Or if you do not know the concept of profiling, for you, if you are seeing what exactly is connecting to my network, you will see just IP address, right? Maybe 1.10, 20.10, and so on, right? But how you are going to identify what exactly this IP address is? Maybe you have a big list, right? Maybe you have a big list of IP addresses, which you can say that, yes, to this VLAN, I have given this subnet. And maybe over this subnet, everything, whoever is going to connect is my employee. And employee means their workstations. So those are employee workstation, right? But still, believe me that there are so many IP addresses. And on the basis of IP addresses, to identify or to get to know about a particular device is really difficult, right? So first requirement is, can we do something in my network as a network administrator through which I can know exactly what different endpoints are connected with my network? And I must be certain about it to an extent that, yes, I have a switch port which is 0/3 on access switch 1 of a particular building, and I can see that somebody connected an access point there, or somebody connected a printer. Maybe if you are deploying or developing a network of a healthcare system, there are many machines which you might don't know about it, right? How you are going to identify them? So overall, to an administrator just like me or a network engineer just like you and me, it is going to be really, really beneficial. It is going to be extremely important to know, to get the visibility of the devices which are connected into your network, right? Visibility means you should be absolutely clear what operating system or what device, what make is attached to my network, right? But it is all about visibility, or it is about something else. For example, if you are so sure that there are 50 endpoints, and these endpoints are Android, and I know for sure that in my enterprise I haven't distributed any Android phone to my employees, right? It means that these Android phones are definitely, means maybe they belong to my employees, but I can't trust them, right? Maybe they have virus in them. So what I can do is, if I can identify that these devices are Android phones, right, I can say that these can become part of VLAN number maybe 76. And VLAN number 76 has only internet access. Maybe this guy wants to connect to my network only to access network. That is it, right? But of course, if it is a Windows and it is my own asset, then I can say that it should be on my corporate VLAN, right? So maybe once you identify a particular device, you can provide authorization, right, which suits your organization need. And who does that? You all know Identity Services Engine can do that. Means if you can say that this is something, right? This is a group of Android phone, and you can create an authorization policy that if a particular user or if the device is my Android phone, I can assign a result of VLAN 76. As simple as that, right? So the whole sole point is that we should be aware of what exactly connecting to my network, right? And on the basis of that, uh, information, and I can create my authorization profile, right? But here is the point: how Identity Services Engine is going to profile, or how Identity Services Engine is going to tell me that this laptop is actually Windows laptop, and this device is actually iPad, this device is printer, and this device is access point. How, on what basis my Identity Services Engine is going to be so sure about it, right? So let's take an example from daily life, and we have our character Anjali and Rahul, right? So Anjali is looking someone to get married, right? And she has a number in her mind. This number is a magical number, which is 70. It doesn't have any unit, by the way. It's just a number 70. And she's saying that if some guy has greater, means I am going to score multiple people and I'm going to give them a particular score. And if the score is greater than 70, I will be saying that this guy is marriage material, right? So what exactly we want to do? We want to profile somebody, right, on the basis of some parameters, that whether it is a marriage, he is or she is a marriage material or not. Maybe Rahul wants to do the same, right? But Anjali has a specific score. If it is greater than 70, then I would be saying that yes, he is a marriage material, and maybe we can go ahead with the proposal, right? It's a simple example. But how this number 70 is going to be reached, right? So first thing first, Anjali says that Anjali is, of course, talking to Mr. Rahul over the phone. And she's saying that if somebody is delightful to talk, means you feel really good when you talk about when you talk something or different topic to this guy, and you feel that there is a delightful feeling, right? Then Anjali is saying that I'm going to give 10 marks or maybe 10 points. And Rahul is exactly delightful to talk. Then she is saying, for sense of humor, I am going to give him approximately 10 again, right? Maybe honesty, 15 points. Maybe if he's earning well, right, this is going to have 25 points. If you combine them, then it is still 60. If Mr. Raul is having all these things, right, all these properties, all these attributes, you can say, still he is not a marriage material for Anjali. Now the last thing, even I was creating this board and my wife was there, so she was saying that these things are okay, Vishnu. I would like to add one thing. And she said that he should be really good in household works also. For example, he should cook sometime, right? Or maybe some other works. And if he's good, then I'm going to give him or her, maybe this is 20, maybe I'm going to give him a 25 marks, right? By the way, I do not know all these things, right? I do not know cooking. So overall, if I say that if you now count, it is going to give you 30, 20, 50, 60, 70. Am I right? No. 45, 60, 70, 80. It means that if Mr. Rahul has passed all these criterias and if Anjali is counting all these numbers, it is going to give 80, which is clearly greater than 70. And Anjali is saying, yes, Mr. Rahul is a marriage material. It's just a simple example, guys, right? What Anjali is doing, Anjali is calculating. Anjali has set some number in her mind, right? And now, after talking to Mr. Rahul, she is just clicking or she is just counting the number, and this number is greater than 70. It means that Rahul is the guy, right? And she might go ahead with the relationship. So overall, Anjali is kind of profiling Mr. Rahul on the basis of some point. And believe me, identity services engine is going to do that, right? Here, the mode of communication is maybe simply they are talking, they are going around with each other, and of course, on the basis of that, this number is will be increasing maybe with time. Exactly what is happening. I would like to showcase you. Just remember this example. If you have this example in your mind, profiling is done. Believe me, right? So here you go. So we have here a printer, right? And we have identity services engine. Now, identity services engine is saying that for HP printer, if particular device is HP printer or not, right? I have to give it a number that if the number is greater than 70, I will be certain that yes, this is a HP printer, right? But here is my problem. How identity services engine can talk to this HP printer. One thing is that you all know that one little device is there, which is access switch, and we send maybe MAB authentication request from here to here, and then this guy is taking this request into the radius packet, and this radius packet is going to have some attributes. On the basis of this attribute, we can get some information, right? So this is the only thing. If I say, if whatever we have read till now, we only know that because of these radius messages, identity services engine can take something out of it, right? Maybe a MAC address, right? Maybe the name, and so on. On the basis of MAC address, we can identify, because a particular fields in the MAC address are actually organization unit identifier, OUI, right? And on the basis of that, I can say that this Mac is actually belong to Cisco or Microsoft or so, or maybe some other device, right? This is a good point to begin with. But on the basis of this OUI, I cannot say that this is my printer. Maybe if it is belongs to HP, then I can say that maybe I can give it's a number 20, right? Of course, 20 doesn't mean that it's an HP printer because I have a specific thing in my mind, 70. Anjali has a specific number in her mind that whether Rahul is a marriage material or not, and that number was 70. If I am getting only 20, it doesn't mean that it's a printer. It could be a printer, right? But I identity services engine says if the score is going to be 70, then or more than 70, then I can say that it's a printer, right? So this is one thing. Maybe then identity services engine, because it has the MAC address, it can go and because you all know it is connected to Active Directory. And in Active Directory, we have almost everything of our organization, maybe a printer group, which is going to contain all the printer machine, right? And on the basis of this MAC address, maybe the MAC address is say AAA, your identity services engine can ask Active Directory, Mr. Active Directory, do you know MAC address AAA? And maybe Active Directory is going to check, yeah, I know A is a printer with this name, all this thing, because MAC address is going to be unique for a particular device, right? And all this information are actually your organization information, right? So see what, just like Anjali is directly talking to with Mr. Rahul, right? Maybe they are sometimes on a date so that they can know each other well. But how identity services engine is going to profile this printer, right? One is radius message. The other thing, it is connected to AD and it knows AD has almost every information, right? And if it gets some MAC address, it can ask AD that, do you know this MAC address? And then it can get some more information from Active Directory. And maybe Active Directory says, yes, and you have given more weightage to that, maybe 75, maybe 55. If Active Directory says that, yes, this guy is a printer, and if you add up both, it is going to be 75. And now identity services engine can say with certainty, because you have given this number 70, right, that this machine is actually my printer machine. By the way, there are so many things which Cisco has already created for you. For example, for Cisco IP phone, if you want to identify, they have created this number. This number is already there, and they have created these conditions also. So by the way, whatever I'm saying, right, Mac OUI, this is condition number 1, and I want to give score of 20. With condition number 2, maybe I have asked with 80, and I am giving it, maybe I am giving it number 55, right? And the number for Cisco IP I have selected is 70, and if this is greater than that, then basically this device is actually my Cisco IP phone or whatever, right? What's a printer? So there are many such profiles already created by Cisco for you. It is right there in your identity services engine. So overall, maybe the concept should be clear by now, right? But you must be thinking, Mr. Vishnu, only on the basis of radius and AD. Is there anything else we can do? Yes, right? So the other thing is basically, suppose you have a phone right here, which is Android phone, which may be connected with this AP, and AP is sending the wireless messages, and you have connected your Android phone right here, right? And then what is going on? Android phone, when authenticated, it is going to send you what? It is going to send you the DHCP discover message, right? But DHCP discover message will go toward the DHCP server, right? Right? But is there any way through which I can send these DHCP messages, some of the DHCP messages to this identity services engine also, so that it can get some valuable information out of it? Because DHCP message contains some valuable information, right? Which can help me in identifying this device. Believe me, right? So what you are going to do is, you all know that on this switch, maybe it is a part of VLAN 10. Over this VLAN 10, we will be creating a SVI. On the SVI, you all know we give IP helper command. What is IP helper command? You all know that if we have a switch here, if we have my laptop here, it is going to send the DHCP discover message, which is going to be broadcasted. It expects that the DHCP message is right here in my VLAN, but it is not the case. Maybe we have a router, and maybe we have another router, maybe another router, and after 3 or 4 networks, we have a DHCP server. How your request, which is a broadcast, will be reaching here? What you can do is, on this default gateway, right? In this case, it is SVI. In this case, this is router. You can say IP helper address as x.x.x.x, which is your DHCP address. As simple as that, right? And that is how your discover message can go from router to router and reach here, and then it can give the IP address back, or offer message, then request, uh, and then the last message acknowledgement, right? But now, why I'm telling you all this thing? Because I can configure correct DHCP address for sure, which is going to give you IP address. But here, I can also configure IP helper address as my ICE. Although it is not going to provide the DHCP address, but I want this DHCP message so that I can profile better, right? I would like to showcase you that what exactly in the radius messages and DHCP messages, which are so important for profiling feature, right? If by any means I can send some of the messages to identity services engine, which is not going to be your DHCP server, by the way, but we are sending the messages so that we can get some meaningful information. So if you see here, this is my bootstrap protocol. Bootstrap protocol is just nothing but DHCP, right? Inside this, you can see that we have client MAC address, which is this one, right? This is actually the machine address who is initiating this request. And by the way, this is boot request message. Okay, this is good. Now, if I see, there is another thing which says it's a host name. Host name is Anjali PC, right? And then we have also client fully qualified domain, which is anjalipc.bridgewire.com. Interesting, right? Bridgewire.com is what? My domain. Domain means what? My AD. I have defined this domain on the Active Directory itself, as simple as that. And interesting thing is vendor class identifier is Microsoft. So basically I was taking this output from a Windows laptop. Windows laptop is sending this DHCP request message, and I have captured it right here. Who is going to collect all this information? You, sorry, Identity Services Engine. Can you guide them? Can you guide Identity Services Engine to collect this information? Yes, I will be showcasing you how to do that. Okay. But if I talk about Radius protocol, you can see right here, it also has some important information, right? It is having this MAC address. It is in calling station. The one who has initiated this request is this one. By the way, this guy and this guy is the same Windows PC. It is also telling you the IP address information also, right? This one. Although it didn't get any IP address by that time, so that is the Windows by default IP address range is this one. This is the NAS port type Ethernet, and basically the interface on which it is. So basically we get enough information, good information. And if we combine it with AD, then we can get some more information, right? But believe me, this is not the only thing on the basis of which I collect this profile information. I have told you about DHCP, I told you about AD, radius. There are some more things. There are some scans also. Means I can ask this switch that on a particular network, can you send some probes? Can you send some scan? And on the basis of this scan, this guy can know what exactly is connected, right? Although you need to configure it. But this is the another way how ICE is going to collect this information, right? Now, we have a question from Mr. Burak. Mr. Burak, please go ahead and ask your question.
Okay, thank you, Vishnu. I wonder, is it possible to use the devices serial numbers with map?
Device's serial number.
Yeah, for example, some kind of printer, let's say. In our company, we know the serial number of the environments, let's say, and we would like to use this information with map to authenticate the devices.
For map, definitely you can do the authentication, but on the basis of serial number, where exactly the serial number come in any packet you have seen? I would definitely have a look at it, that on the basis whether we transmit serial number of a device also or not, but I haven't seen it somewhere, anywhere, but definitely I can give it a chance. But if you have the your inventory based on MAC addresses, then I don't think you need an service.
But
Yeah, serial number.
MAC address can be spoofed, of course.
Yeah, definitely. If you, okay, you are saying that, but the ident. Okay. Okay, let's take an example. Let's discuss it now, right? So suppose we have a printer, right? I have this printer, and this is a MAC address of AAA, and then the serial number of 1234 or 123, right? It wants to go on your network. So you want to combine these two conditions, AAA and 123, right? And then authenticate on the basis of this two information, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It is not an OR statement. This is an AND statement you are saying. If the MAC address is this and serial number is, but unfortunately, I have seen only that I support only this MAB on the basis of MAC addresses and .1x on the basis of whatever we have learned. But anything with respect to this serial number, because even
I think if we add some kind of parameter, something like serial numbers, the map part will be more secure
no,
in
this
this
is
case.
interesting observation. Maybe we can suggest somewhere, or maybe the work is going on in this regard. But I'm really not aware of it. But it's an interesting thing you have given me to ask some expert in who are deploying identity services engine. Okay.
Okay.
This is good. This is
Thank
good.
you.
Yeah. Perfect.
Thank you.